Hi, I'm Kara, and I'm here at the Atlanta Alpaca Tree House in the bamboo forest with Figgy, who is kissing me because I have treats. Anyway, welcome, and you wouldn't believe it, but this is right here in East Atlanta. Come on, let me show it to you. So I'm sitting here underneath the tree house. This is a Bali Bed. It's built from reclaimed Sherwin-Williams pallets, which are amazingly strong and made of hardwoods. We built this tree house just really to hang out and drink wine with our friends. And it just seemed like such an amazing vacation within the city because it's buried in this bamboo forest and it's cool back here and it has this exotic flair. It just feels different and magical back here, and that's what a lot of our guests say. And having people come and love it as much as we did, that was really shocking and revelatory and amazing. It has aided us with rescuing animals, and so it's been really a gift. Anyway, let me show you the rest of it. Follow me. So welcome up to the top of the tree house. This is our beautiful porch. It's actually a pretty large porch for a small tree house. It's all built with reclaimed materials. Like, for example, the ceiling is from the 1860s and it came out of a house about an hour south of here, and it's called Haint Blue, and that's the original paint, which is amazing. Haint Blue derives from the Gullah traditions off the islands of South Carolina. Our door is fascinating because the door was the mayor's back door back in 1900 when he lived in Kirkwood. And the fascinating thing about the door is it would have been used by women, servants, and children. And now I love that it's on the front and it's inclusive to everybody and we welcome everyone. The stained glass is from Ohio, and that hails from the late 1800s, and we had it restored. It's very beautiful, the original glass. And the siding came from a Morningside porch, and amazingly, it had never been painted. I got it from Lifecycle, which is a really great reclaimed warehouse in the West End. And so welcome, and let me show you the inside. Come with me. So welcome to the interior of the treehouse. It's a very warm, colorful jewel box, in my opinion. It's composed of cedar, which smells incredible, and then these beaded board walls and ceilings that are all multicolored, and it's all salvaged from different homes, probably 8 to 10 different homes. So putting it all together was definitely like doing some sort of a elaborate jigsaw puzzle. The floors are from an old church that was up north of the city, and it was torn down, and I actually knew someone that took out the floors, and he hooked me up with these beautiful heart of pine boards. All the doors and windows that you see inside of the whole treehouse are reclaimed and came from my clients when they would tell me to just go ahead and throw away their old doors and windows. I would throw them away in my basement, and knowing that one day I would use them for something. My friends joke that I'm a hoarder, but all the salvage stuff, it ebbs and it flows, so it's getting used, and so it's a cyclical process. Let me show you the upstairs. So welcome to the Treehouse Loft. It's an incredibly comfy, intimate little nest. You've got this gorgeous memory foam mattress with infused with aloe. It's really comfortable, high thread count sheets, and it's just such a colorful little space to sleep. You've got all these beautiful multicolored beaded board walls and ceiling, and a window with a gorgeous view out to the bamboo forest, and it's lovely up here. If you look out the other direction, there's stained glass and leaded bevel glass, and sometimes you can see llamas and alpacas just walking around on the forest floor. And that was an accident, but a really happy one. We also have this wonderful skylight. There are 2 of them in this small tree house, and both offer a window into the bamboo and the singing birds. And the bamboo is incredible when it rains. It comes together like a magical giant wind chime, really, and it has the most amazing sound, and you can see the bamboo dancing. Also, the roof on this treehouse is from an 1860s barn, and it has a slightly percussive sound when it rains, and it's the most relaxing sound. It's like one of those apps you pay for, but it's natural. So the number one question that I get is, did I plant this bamboo? No. The answer is no. This is giant bamboo, and it truly is giant, and it's very invasive, and it spreads like wildfire. But we think someone planted it back in 1940 down by the interstate, and it's been walking this way all these years. I have a herd of camelids, and they keep it contained on my farm, but other people hate it, absolutely hate it. But bamboo is amazing, and it's sort of magical because it has this acoustic quality of blocking sound, but also the plant itself is incredibly green. You can use bamboo to make sheets, clothing, hats. Some Asian countries use it to build structural materials or buildings or fences. It can also be used for sheets. Our sheets on our treehouse are bamboo, and it's edible. You might order an Asian dish and you have bamboo in your dish. So it has a whole bunch of different uses. It grows quickly, and so it's a really green product. So it's pretty amazing, but I would definitely not encourage you to plant it unless you have a bunch of roaming llamas and alpacas, and then you're golden. It's a crazy story of how I came to have llamas and alpacas on the property. It started with chickens, and chickens I fell madly head over heels in love with, and they became a gateway livestock, and I wanted more. And so most people in the city of Atlanta, they start with chickens and then they graduate to goats, and that seemed like a natural progression, and I didn't really intend to be different. I was just gonna do the same thing. But what happened was the universe had different ideas, and I had 3 herds of goats, random herds over a 3-week time period, show up in my front yard, and then I had to track down who they belonged to. 3 herds of goats in the city of Atlanta is not gonna work for me with goats escaping. So I went to Google and I found alpacas and llamas. Llamas seemed big, so I started with alpacas, and I found Southeastern Llama Rescue, contacted them, and they put me in touch with a woman who was wanting to rehome a bunch of her different alpacas up in Maryland. And sight unseen, I had them delivered here and completely fell in love with them. They became a gateway livestock to llamas, and so now I have llamas as well. And everybody here is rescued. Some of them were abused, and most of them were very much neglected, and now they live just an incredibly spoiled, entitled, happy life, which is how it should be. I think the most common thing that people say, and they write it in our guest book, and they write it in the reviews, and they tell me in person, is that they find everything here to be magical. That word comes up over and over and over again, and honestly, it doesn't get old. It's very touching, and I feel like a lot of people who come and stay, they will come for special occasions like anniversaries or birthdays, or they just desperately need, a nature getaway with animals. And a lot of people come back, and we love to have them back. They're like old friends. We meet so many of our guests, and we invite anybody out there watching to come stay with us, or come take one of our tours, or come do yoga and experience the magic for yourself. We'd love to have you.